Hi, today we're going to see how to create the Paper Cutout Illustration Effect in GIMP. So first we need to create a new image. Go to File, New. The image width is 1920 and the height is 1080. Press OK. And now press the minus key on your keyboard to zoom out. And now I'm going to create guides here. So go to Image, Guides, New Guide by percent. Direction is horizontal and the position is 50%. Press OK. And I'm going to create another guide, so go back to image here, guides, new guide by percent, and then change the direction to vertical and keep the position to 50%, press OK. Now first I'm going to change the color of the background, so select the foreground color, going to type the HTML notation here. It is 5AB, 6F4, press enter, and then OK. And now I'm just going to drag the column like this. And now create a new layer, new transparent layer, click on this icon here, fill it with transparency, press OK. And now select the ellipse tool, make sure the expand from center is checked. And now in the center here, let's create our circle here. So keep shift key down here to make circle with the same width and height. So here, and now press enter. And now I'm going to change the color here. So select the foreground color, double click here. The HTML notation is 54DACC. Press enter. And now press OK. And now I'm just going to drag the color like this. And now create a new transparent layer. Click on this icon here. Fill it with transparency. And here, as you can see, the selection is still active. So I'm going to shrink it by 80 pixels. So go to Select, Shrink. And here, 80 pixels. Press OK. And now I'm going to select another color, so click on the foreground color, double click here on the HTML notation, and now I'm going to type 58586, press enter, and now press OK. And now just drag the column like this. You can use any colors you want. I'm just using these colors here. So I'm going to create another transparent layer, so click on this icon here, press OK. And now, as you can see, selection is still active, and as before, go to Select, Shrink. I'm going to shrink it by 80 pixels. Press OK. And now select the foreground color. So I'm going to change the HTML notation again here. So here it is. It is 36457E. Press enter. And now press OK. And now just drag the foreground color like this. And now go to Select, None to remove the selection. And now I'm going to rename these layers. So for this one here, for this circle, I'm going to name it big. So double click on the name, big, press enter. For this one, I'm going to name it medium, press enter. And for this one, I'm going to name it small, press enter. And now select the big layer here. I'm going to add an inner shadow. So first I'm going to remove the guides here. So go to Image, Guides, Remove all guides. In order to add an inner shadow, right click here on the big layer, Alpha to Selection. And now I'm going to invert this selection. So go to Select, Invert, and then go to Filters, Light and Shadow. Make sure to select the Drop Shadow Legacy. And the settings I'm going to use is 0 for the offset X, 0 for the offset Y. The blur radius is 60. The color is black. And for the opacity, I'm going to increase it to 90. And then uncheck the Allow Resizing. And now press OK. So here it is. And I'm going to remove the selection. Go to Select, None. And now since I want to increase the drop shadow effect, so here's the new layer created. I'm going to duplicate it 2 times. So click on this icon here 2 times. So here it is. As you can see, it increased the effect. And I'm going to merge these drop shadows here layers with the big layer. So click on this icon here to merge down 1 time, 2nd time, and for the 3rd time. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the medium and small layer. So select the medium layer, right click on it, Alpha to Selection, and now go to Select, Invert, and now go to Filters. And now instead of going to the filter again, just click on repeat drop shadow legacy. It will repeat the filter with the same settings. So here it is, and now go to select, none to remove the selection. Now as before it created a new drop shadow layer, so I'm going to duplicate it 2 times as before, so click on this icon here 2 times. And then I'm going to merge these 3 drop shadow layers with the medium layer as before. So select the top drop shadow layer and then just merge down here. And then for the 3rd time. And for the last layer here, the small layer, I'm going to do the same thing. Right click, alpha to selection, and then go to select, invert, and then go to filters. Here, repeat drop shadow legacy, and now go to select, none to remove the selection, and now select the drop shadow layer, duplicate it 2 times here like this, and then just merge down here. So as you can see here, we have the circles here with their inner shadows. So now I'm going to create some clouds here. So I'm going to create a new transparent layer, click on this icon here, fill it with transparency, and then press OK. And now in order to create some clouds here, I'm going to use the ellipse tool. But in the tool options, make sure the mode here is add to the current selection. And now I'm going to create here selection. So here it is. And now press enter. And now if I add another one here like this, so as you can see, it adds up to the selection. So I'm going to place it here, press enter. So here it is, and now I'm going to fill it with white. So I'm just going to drag the background color like this. And now while the selection is active, instead of duplicating this layer, I'm just going to use it as brush. So in order to do so, keep the control key down and then press C. And here, as you can see, copy pixels to the clipboard. And now go to select, none to remove the selection. And now I'm going to hide this cloud here, create a new transparent layer, click on this icon here, fill it with transparency, press OK, select the brush tool, and select the first one here, clipboard image. And now here I'm going to place it like this. You can also increase the size here. For example, I will make a big cloud here like this, the outside, and then smaller one here like this. I'm going to name this layer cloud, double click here and name it clouds, press enter. Now I'm going to add a drop shadow, so I'm going to select another brush here, so like this, and now I'm going to add drop shadow here to the clouds here, so go to filters, light and shadow, drop shadow, this one here, the first one, simple one. So I'm just going to leave the default settings here, so press OK. Now here, if you select the move tool, you can move the clouds here. You can also create them on separate layers to move them as you want. And now I'm going to create the moon here, so click on this icon here. I'm going to create a new layer, fill it with transparency, press OK. And now select the ellipse tool. And now here, as you can see, the mode here is add to the current selection. So now keep shift key down here to create a perfect circle here with the same width and height. And now press enter. And now I want to create a crescent moon, so I'm going to select the subtract from the selection, and then just here, as before, instead of adding to the selection, it will remove from the selection. So here, I think it's okay here, press enter. And now I'm going to fill this selection here on the layer here with the color. Click on the foreground color, double click on the HTML notation. And the color I'm going to use is FAF01B, press enter, and then press OK. Now just fill the selection, so here like this, and now go to select, none. Now select the move tool here to move the layer. And now I'm going to add a drop shadow to it, so go to filters. I'm going to add the same drop shadow as the cloud, so just click on repeat drop shadow. So here it is. You can also increase the effect by duplicating the layer like this. And then I'm going to merge these 2 layers here with the moon here together. And I'm going to create a new transparent layer. So click on this icon here, fill it with transparency, press OK. And I'm going to create some hills here. So I'm going to use the paths tool. Left click here, I'm going to create some curves here like this. And then just drag the handle back here. For this one, I'm going to create like this here. And then just drag the handle here. And then I'm just going to create the last curve here like this. And then I'm just going to close the path here. So here, select this one here, and then keep the Control key down here and left click on the first path, and now press enter. And now I'm going to fill this selection with white here on the new transparent layer like this. And now go to select none to remove the selection. Select the another tool here to remove the paths here. And now in order to make the effect that as if it is coming from this circle here, I'm going to select the big layer, right click on it, alpha to selection, and now go to select, invert to invert the selection, and then select the hill layer, this one here, and then press the delete key with the white here, and then press the delete key on your keyboard. So here it is, and now go to select, none to remove the selection. And now I'm going to add the drop shadow here on the top part here for the hill layer here. So I'm going to right click on it, alpha to selection. And now I'm going to create a new transparent layer, click on this icon here, fill it with transparency and press OK. And now I'm going to fill it with black here, so select, click on these squares here, and then select the foreground color, the black color here, like this. And now go to select, none. And now I'm going to blur it here, so go to filters, blur, Gaussian blur here. And then I'm just going to increase a little bit blur here, like this. Press OK. And now I'm going to place it under the white layer here, the white hill layer, and then just select the move tool here, and then just like this, place it like this. So here I think it's okay here. You can also decrease the opacity like this. And now I'm going to merge these two layers here, the white hill with its shadow. So click on this icon here. And now I'm going to duplicate this layer, the hill layer, click on this icon, select the flip tool. I'm going to add another hill here. So left click, and now select the move tool. Just move it a little bit here like this. And now in order to remove the excess here, so select the big layer, right click on it, alpha to selection, and now select the duplicated hill layer here. And now go to select invert selection and then press the delete key on your keyboard. So here it is. And now go to select none. And now right click layer to image size. And now I'm going to add some stars here. So click on this icon here to create a new layer. Fill it with transparency, press OK. And now go to filters, render, gfig. And now select the star here, settings. So here, create star. Check these sides here, increase to 5 sides here. And then I'm just going to create it like this. So here. And now I'm going to uncheck the stroke. And then for the fill, I'm just going to type the color fill here. So here it was filled with white since our background here is white. And now close. And now I'm going to use it as brush. So as for the clouds, right click on it, alpha to selection, keep the control key down and then C. As you can see, copied pixels to the clipboard. And now go to select, none to remove the selection. And now I'm going to hide this layer here with the star, create a new transparent layer, press OK, select the brush tool here. So here it is, and now let's select the brush, and now select the first one here, clipboard image. And now here I'm going to reduce the size here like this. So here I'm going to place it here. Press Ctrl and Z here to remove here what you have done. So I'm going to decrease the size. So here I'm going to place them here like this. And now if you want to remove one of them, just select the eraser tool and then just erase like this. So here, Now I'm going to add some snow here, and now make the foreground color white like this, and then just type here like this. Now you can also increase the size here a little bit. And now for this one, I'm just going to leave them like this. I'm not going to add a drop shadow to them. And now for the last part, I'm going to bring images, silhouettes of animals here. So I'm going to select folder here. I'm going to select this one here. So here it is, and now I'm going to select the move tool. So like this. I want to keep this little deer here. So right click here, layer to image size, and now select the free select tool. And now I'm going to make selection around this one here. So now that I have the selection, so let's close this selection, press enter, and then go to select, invert, and then press the delete key on your keyboard. So here it is, and now go to select, none. And now since the color here is black, so just go to colors, and then invert. Since I want a white color here, now I'm going to use the scale tool, left click here. Now keep the control key down here to scale it proportionally like this. So here I'm going to place it here like this. So I'm just going to reduce the size of it, so like this. So here I think it's okay here. So I'm going to place it here. And now press enter. And now for this one I'm going to add a drop shadow to it. So go to filters, light and shadow, drop shadow. I'm going to leave the same settings here, so press OK. And now I'm going to bring the second animal. So here, from this one, I will put the images link in the description box. So I'm going to select this one here, so select the move tool. Just going to move it like this. So here, now right click, layer to image size, and now I'm going to make selection with the free select tool. I'm going to select the deer here. Now I'm going to close the selection, so here like this. Now press enter, and now go to select, invert, and then press the delete key on your keyboard like this. Now go to select, none to remove the selection, and then I'm going to change the color to white here. So since it is black as before, just colors and then invert. And now select the scale tool, left click here, keep the control key down here. As you can see, the chain icon here is linked. So keep the control key down to scale it proportionally like this. So I'm just going to place it here. And now press enter. And now I'm going to add same drop shadow as the little one here. So go to filters here, light and shadow, drop shadow. For the drop shadow, it's up to you. So I'm just going to leave the default settings. So press OK. So here it is, and now right click here and then new from visible. So now here it is, we are done. So that's how you can create the paper cutout illustration effect in GIMP. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and till next time.